Camper here. I just drove 500 miles to Laramie, Wyoming to watch two of my brothers compete in the longest running trail run in Wyoming history. And I did it on the hottest day of the season with no air conditioning. You might be asking yourself, Captain Prairie, is that a mini bike you're sitting on? And did you take that camping down in Wyoming? My answer to that is, why wouldn't you take a mini bike camping down in Wyoming? Good news is I did get a chance to get the pickup tent out there and use that for 3 good solid days and have another review of that being out in the bush. We're going to get it set up out here to let it dry out, because that's what you should do. And we'll go over some of the good, the bad, and the prairie. Let's get this unpacked. And cut. Oh, God, that hurt. Oh, danger close, danger close. 2319, 2319. Okay, we're back here, and like I promised, we are going to do the good, the bad, and the prairie on this tent. First of all, I'll tell you, we're up in the high country, and it was pretty caveman-like camping, so you need to bring everything that you have, which is why I carry this tote. As I said before, it has food things in here, it has sleeping pad. Everything fits in here. The tent when it's down, my sleeping bag, cooking systems, food, everything. So it worked out perfectly. And up in the high country, if you know, you'll get an afternoon thunderstorm roll through pretty occasionally. So I had to put the tent fly on there, and it worked fantastically. So we had wind, 35-mile-an-hour winds. Nothing blew off, nothing wrecked from that. No rain got inside. It was dry as a bone. It stayed put. Very, very impressive. The room in there, I had enough room to have this as a nightstand on the inside and enough room for me to wiggle around, change clothes, do whatever I wanted to do. I probably could have done that little goofy spin around thing in there and been just fine. A lot of room, a lot of headroom. Very, very comfortable. The bad. I'm going to show you this because the reviews say that when you put this front pull through here, it's going to rip out one of these things here that holds the tent peg pole thing. And sure enough, it ripped out just as we were setting that up. Ripped it right out of there. So that was kind of a disappointment. But not to worry, because what I did is I went down to the local hardware store and got me this happy little sewing kit. And I'll just sew that thing right back on there and it'll be better than new. I'll keep this with my gear so that when another one rips off, I can fix it. That didn't worry me one bit. It didn't really affect the overall function of the tent. I just kind of wedged it in the tailgate there and it stayed put even through that wind. Very, very impressive. This thing is noisy. The first night we had 15-mile-an-hour winds or so. It wasn't that bad, but flap, 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 flap. A lot of noise, even if you had the windows open. But when you're tired after spending all day out in the bush, it was easy enough to get to sleep and didn't really keep me up. So that's a downside. I will go over a few of the prairie things. One of them is this here carpet remnant. Now what I did is I put it at the base of the tent so I could leave my shoes there and wipe your feet before you get in the tent. I think what I'm going to do is get another one and put it on the tailgate so that when you're climbing up and down there, and I even have that happy little step stool, but when you're climbing up and down on that, brother, your knees hurt. So a carpet remnant there, and then I like to keep one down below it, kind of wipe your feet, whatever, and just a little comfort of home. The tent comes all the way out. Go to that first video, you see the tent goes all the way out to here. So one frustrating thing for me was, carry water. This has probably 207 metric tons of water in it right now, and I'm holding it with one hand, or 5 gallons, whichever comes first. So in an ideal situation, you would have it here, and you could, you know, do all your washing or fill up your water bottle or whatever it might be. But since this is all covered with the entrance to your tent, you can't do that. So when you're car camping, you can afford to bring along a few other things. And I have this here fish cleaning, game cleaning station thingy. So I'll just put that on here. I can do some cooking. I can do, leave my water up here, turn it down here and pour out the water. Another thing, since I'm thinking about it, if you're like living uptown like me and occasionally staying a Super 8 or a Motel 6 or something, you'll see they always have the little shampoo bottles and stuff like that, and I take them because I'll use them on trips like this. Backpacking, they're very easy to pack. They also have these coffees and things and teas. So I'll keep those in here when I'm out camping, just for the convenience of it. But I've got everything airing out. The sleeping bag, the sleeping pad. I had the foam in there and it was very, very comfortable. Man, this tent really impresses me. It went through some pretty harsh conditions and did not let me down. Even though that one corner ripped off, I still say it did not let me down a bit. So if you're thinking about getting one, get it. Very impressed with this thing. Don't know if I'd drive any amount of distance with that thing in the back there flapping around. You could go from campsite to campsite if you wanted to, but any long distance I probably wouldn't. But it's going to be out. I'll do an actual video where I'm out in it when I'm hunting this year, and we'll see how that goes. But I will tell you this, so it was up in the upper 90s when we were even up in the high country, so you were hunting shade, but at night it would get down to like in the 50s, so it was very comfortable to sleep. I don't even know if I would bring a sleeping bag next time. I would maybe just bring a couple of blankets, just because they're easier to use when you're not having to bundle up in a mummy bag or something. But very, very impressed with this unit. Hopefully you learned something out of this. If you have any questions, sock them down there in the comments section. I've tried to answer every one of them. If you got any ideas for me, man, I'm willing to take them. But this is the Guide Gear pickup tent. Fly worked, tent worked, mini bike worked. If you have any questions, let me know. Any comments, write them down there. And if you got a mind to, go ahead and prescribe. Don't like. If you don't like the video, let me know why. Maybe I can get more gooder in the future. And but thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.